Now you can tell you to go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
Ah,
Yeah,
damn it. This is the
yeah,
first.
buddy.
We're already demonetized. Great.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
you,
okay, do.
you hate to see it.
I mean,
Oh no.
you
Oh no,
probably
we
had to be
won't get our
monet.
money this week.
I was about to
Shit.
say, I don't think you could be demonetized if you're not monetized to begin with.
Shit. You're right.
And on that note,
I'm not even sure if I did that on YouTube. Anyway, this is episode 55 of the Six Man Tag Podcast. What's up, everybody? Listen, we're getting there. We're getting there. 14 away. Yeah, welcome. Thank you for listening on Apple or Spotify, for watching our faces on YouTube. Thanks a lot for everybody for tuning in. We are here to preview the draft. Not the football draft that is happening.
The
Oh.
Jets just selected edge rusher.
No, where. Listen,
Not
I
that
know Lawrence Taylor was in a WrestleMania main event before, and there's been other football players around like Gronk and all that, but that's football, and this is wrestling. Where is the wrestling?
The wrestling.
We're bringing it to you because we're previewing the WWE draft. It's happening again. Maybe for real this time. We'll get into it.
Maybe.
allegedly.
Right. But they're going to draft. We'll tell you about it. Well, we'll preview it because it's not happening yet. It's happening tonight. If you're listening to this on the release day, it starts tonight on SmackDown, finishes next Monday on Raw, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, before we get into all that, intros, because sometimes I forget as my stupid brain jumps around. I'm Mike. Joining me, as always, although he wasn't here last week. Anthony was here, but he's not here this week, even though we invited him back.
Anthony, you got taller.
So, sorry, Chargers took Quentin Johnson, who I'm not mad because I don't think he's going to be that good in the NFL. Anyway,
I am not mad about that at all.
So Anthony loves TCU anyway, so fuck him. Anyway, joining me as always, except for last week, it's CJ.
What's up, everybody? It's me, CJ. I'm back. Couldn't make it last week. Glad to see that you guys got a show off the ground anyway, especially with our boy Anthony making his debut. Anthony was invited back. I was looking forward to doing an episode with Anthony this week, but he's not here. So he is going to be my cunt of the week.
Of the
week. But anyway, yeah, so Dennis gets a pass this week, but Anthony, you're a real cunt. But speaking of people who aren't cunts and who is here and who is a master of intros, Mr. Tyler. That's it.
And with the 69th pick, nice, of the six-man tag podcast draft, Skylar chooses to tell Craig to go fuck himself.
That's me. I got picked to go fuck myself, and I feel very privileged.
I did not.
I didn't trade
You're
up.
not worthy of the 69th
No.
pick. That's all I gotta say.
Fair.
I didn't get a chance to trade up yet. Anyway,
so we're talking about the draft. I guess I'll start before we get into anything because
we're gonna talk about Charlie.
I feel like we've been meaning to do like a brand extension draft episode, and this kind of just fell into our lap a little bit because I feel like we never actually had a chance to talk about it. So I'll just throw this out there I'll throw it to CJ first. How do you feel about brand extension as a whole? It's been going on since 2002. We're 21 years in at this point of on again, off again, however you want to call it. What's your ultimate feeling on these drafts and brand extension and, what have you? There clearly was a purpose for it in 2002 after there was no competition. So they were creating their own stuff. So, but what's your ultimate stance on it? Good, bad, indifferent? How do you feel about it?
I think that there's kind of a little bit of both when it comes to it that I've always kind of felt. I feel like you said, it was a little bit more relevant and maybe a little more needed back in the day than it is now. So for me now, it's probably a little more negative than it used to be. But but I'll deal a couple of both sides of it just for you real quick. I think that one of the negatives in particular, right, especially for now, is that like you said, the show has its own competition now. There's AEW, obviously ROH is gonna obviously be doing something. There's other things that are going on. Wrestling's big now, and I know AEW is like the main competitor. Obviously, they're the only ones with a real TV deal, but that doesn't mean that like there isn't other stuff out there too, because there's a lot. But
it's a lot easier to go out and find
Impact
it than it
will
was.
not go away.
No.
No.
And there's always going to be people who kind of like prefer those kind of shows and develop their own audiences and stuff like that. One thing I think is good about it, that I do think that in principle, when things actually work out and they actually stick to their plan, it actually is good, is that because the roster is so big and because you have all these hours of TV, it gives more opportunities to people, I think. But unfortunately, I feel like that's a very in principle type argument, because I don't know how well we've seen it carried out over the years. Usually like by, a few months later, there's just kind of a mishmashing anyway. They're obviously not doing like the pay-per-views where they're like facing like all raw paper. That was a bad idea, and we'll get into that.
We'll get to that.
Oh,
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that because that
I think that was a terrible idea.
We'll get to it,
but
it may be present tense.
Oh, well, see, then I'm not going to like it. But I mean, that's pretty much where that's pretty much where I stand on it as a whole. Is like I can kind of see good and bad in it, but I just, as a whole for right now, I don't think it's as necessary as maybe it once was. So I'm not as excited about it as I was 20 years ago. That's for sure. Like 20 years ago, it was new, it was cool. It was like, all right, this is exciting. At least I don't get that feeling anymore from it. That's for sure.
Right. Skylar, same, if you have any different thoughts, go ahead.
I'd like it more if it was actually fucking consistent.
Yeah.
That's the biggest enemy of the draft, is the consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's been a couple of those drafts, like the very first draft, or that one when it was Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan were running SmackDown. Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley were running Raw. And for
that was 2017,
16, 17, somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
And that one started as a pretty firm split. Like you even notice differences in like the presentation. Like SmackDown actually did feel like even the camera work like was different.
Yeah.
For example, and you won the pros. To CJ's point, new stars were made. I mean, shit. Your inaugural Universal/Intergalactical champion, as they called it back in the day, was fucking Finn Balor. And imagine if he didn't get injured in that same fucking match.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And he will be addressed in this episode.
Yep. Oh no, we got a bunch of stuff to address.
But
that also comes with obviously them creating a new world title as well. Obviously, like now,
right,
now's a chance to get somebody besides Roman.
Right. We'll get into all
that. I have thoughts on that whole ordeal.
Yeah.
Both good and
so do I.
Both good and both very bad.
So let me pivot, because we met. If you want to finish up on the question, then I'll take it away.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Skylar.
So basically when they actually do a hard split, yes, it's not a bad idea. That having been said, I didn't even think about it until CJ said it just now. There's so much actual competition out there right now. Because back in 2002, what the fuck was there? NWA, TNA?
And technically that didn't exist when they did the first draft, I believe, or it was
like
just starting.
It was that year, but like
it
was months later.
Yeah.
You had your inaugural champ, Ken Shamrock, who was beating by Ron the Truth Killings. That's right. Former NWA World Champion, R-Truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was WCW was dead. ECW was dead. The roster was bloated because they picked up all the scrubs from those, with all due respect. Okay. You know what I mean.
Not much respect.
some respect.
With little intended respect.
With a little intended respect, the thing is they didn't have Sting. They didn't have Hogan. They didn't have fucking...
They got Buff Bagwell for a match.
Oof.
A match, and
What a match it was.
Who had the better run, Public Enemy or Buff Bagwell?
Ooh.
Oh.
Who had the more notorious run, I would say, would be definitely Public Enemy. But
I'm going to say
I might just have to give it to Public Enemy anyway. They got the shit. At least it was entertaining.
That's true.
Well,
like I feel like nobody goes back and watches that Booker T Buff Bagwell like WCW main event.
I actually haven't seen it.
Everybody goes back. Everybody will go watch that Public Enemy APA. Like, oh, they really beat the fuck out of them. Let me check this out.
Zay Flowers to the Ravens.
I saw that. That's actually a good pick. So I'm
Come
hoping
on, Addison.
I think Addison will fall from. Sorry if we intertwine NFL draft talk live.
It's a draft kind of night.
I mean, if you're listening to the audio version, I'm wearing my Barkley jersey. It is what it is. Just accept it.
I'm wearing an Adam Cole baby shirt because I came dressed appropriately.
Funny story, actually, about speaking of t-shirts. So a while back, I have a gigantic band t-shirt collection, but there's some wrestling shirts in there now. Apparently, at some point, I traded some in, and somehow in there, I guess my Malachi Black shirt of him standing over a skeleton, which was actually Cody in his first match. Apparently that got traded in by accident because I saw it there when I was at a listening party for the new Metallica record. So I forked over the $10 to get that back.
Smart.
Yeah, no, that should never have. That was a mistake. Sorry, Malachi, if you're listening. Also, Black Mass sponsor us. Yeah, okay. I did not come dressed appropriately for the correct draft.
It happens to the best of us.
Yes. And I'm not even that. I'm like the mediocre of us.
The mid of us.
I am the middle of us.
The mid of us?
Yeah.
I'm the mid of us. I'm not the last of us. I'm
certainly
not the first
not the
mid of
last.
us.
I'm the mid of us.
I feel like that's a fair assumption for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll take it.
Bunch of mid people.
So,
yeah.
Also, I just very quickly want to say that I think, entertainment purposes, Public Enemy was more entertaining because they got their ass fucking kicked.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah.
But Buff Bagwell fucking changed the course of the invasion because it was that bad.
Like, it's man,
like that
it really
plans
does suck.
changed, pal, because of that match.
Look,
I
you
gotta
can
see this
blame.
match. I spent so long. I don't even remember it.
You can.
But I've
I mean,
heard
That's for the best.
Really bad.
I suppose you could blame WCW, and I guess you can't blame AOL Time Warner because they didn't give out the initial contracts that were crazy. But I mean, it sucks that they didn't just carry the contracts over,
right,
and just like have them show up. But granted, like it is what it is now. I mean, we're just getting way off about random shit. But it's like,
hi, welcome to the draft episode where we talk about the invasion angle from 2000.
Well, the invasion angle made the roster so bloated they needed it.
I know. No, it's just
so
but
it does kind of need it.
If you think about the invasion, like I wonder if they had the money to throw around to either match those contracts or like if it was just so bad they were like, whatever, man, we'll just wing it without these dudes, I guess.
Well, it's kind of weird.
At home.
It's kind of weird seeing how much they actually bought WCW for.
Yeah, $2 million.
And what is that?
$2 million.
What is that in 2023?
I don't know. I mean, $2 million. $2 million from 2022 is probably fucking worth a lot more than 2023.
$2 million in 2022 is worth like $1 billion today.
Yeah, right.
It's all those bills.
Hold on, I gotta look this up.
Look it up, pal.
29.92 because I have no lights on in here.
See, that's a problem. You gotta have light.
So 2 million in 2022 is $3,355,597.55.
We found the same.
Oh wait, in 2022.
That's what that much in 2022. $2 million is the equivalent of that much today.
Okay, yeah, but how much was it compared to like when WWE bought?
No, the $2 million Vince paid in 2001 is worth about 3.4 million today.
With
not what he said.
inflation today, that's how
Yeah.
much WCW only cost another
Oh.
$1,355,597.55.
I thought you were comparing 2022 to this year.
No. I was
Well-
joking with how inflation's gone in this country.
Well, no, I'm looking up the actual number, and I was just curious.
Needless to say, this is great podcasting talking about now we're all over the place. Let's talk about inflation. Who did it? What happened?
Hey, this is relevant to how much they paid, because $2 million for that library
I was $2
and
million
some of those
is
contracts was a steal.
nothing. $2 million
This whole podcast is starting to look like our fucking group chat.
This is fair.
Not wrong.
We got
Just
into a conversation yesterday about a lot of the world's kind of stuff
Oh,
that
yeah.
had nothing to do with wrestling.
This
Yeah.
is true. It was in the wrestling, I think,
It was.
channel. Anyway, just Discord, fun place.
Yes.
All right.
That's been an
needless.
interesting
All
move.
right, whatever. The invasion, it is whatever, man. The invasion led to the draft, whatever. So
We get Ric Flair comes back.
we had Ric Flair on one side, Vince McMahon on the other. I'll say, let me bring it up because you mentioned it. Because maybe I have a different thought than you guys, but the brand exclusive pay-per-views, you both hate them?
I hate him.
I didn't say that.
I thought you did.
The fuck you
I
putting
don't
words
like
in my mouth for?
I
How
you're slow-
dare you?
hope you're
Okay.
slow rolling him just so you could be like, yeah, I hate him.
That's what I definitely think's happening. Go on, Skylar.
Okay, now to give a serious answer. I don't hate them. I just don't like a lot of pay-per-views and having too many pay-per-views in general.
Mhm.
I think the perfect number would be, okay, so you have Mania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam,
big
Survivor
four.
Series,
Yeah.
and I guess Money in the Bank, since
Mm.
that replaced King of the Ring.
Mhm.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if they still plan on trying to do that again.
I feel like
I think so.
11. I think 11 is a sweet spot. But it's also, but then we're also getting into territories of like, I feel like the concept of pay-per-view.
Actually, I just did the math, and you're right. 11 was the number I was thinking of, because you have the 5 main ones, and you get 3 each for
3
the
and
other for
3.
the brands. Yeah,
I
think that's a good number.
Part of me just, it doesn't necessarily matter anymore, because I'll say for as long as stuff is just going to be the way it is. Like I said, we've discussed about the merger. If the pay-per-view model will change in the future to where they're going to go back to where you got to buy certain shows, but if stuff's just subscription based and you're paying the money anyway, they could have 30 pay-per-views if they truly wanted to. Will it be silly? Yes. But I think pay-per-views, you used to look at it as like monetary, like, wow, if we have 12 pay-per-views and they average $30 a pay-per-view, how many people are we going to get to shell out, whatever that math, $360 a year for all 12 of our pay-per-views? Because that's gone, I don't think the number of pay-per-views matters too much anymore. And I don't necessarily think
I would have to do an extreme
Mhm.
amount of torrential studying
Yes.
to see if that number is worth it.
Right. Agreed.
I wouldn't be. I'll tell you right now, straight off the bat, if they go back to a pay-per-view model, especially if they have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pay-per-views a year,
Mhm.
I'm not paying for them. I'm not watching them if that's what it takes. Because that's just
I'll pay for the Rumble. I'll pay for Mania,
like at this point, like now, like when we were younger,
and even those
we
are
had
questionable, actually.
when we were younger, we always had our ways around it anyway. We had like your Buffalo Wild Wings, or you just all go to a friend's house and put money together. Like there's always ways
You
around
had the
it, but,
one friend with the black box.
oh, yeah, but that was me. That's what we had in my house for sure.
Why does that not surprise me at all?
But other than that though, like now, like me, 35-year-old man living by myself, you think I'm gonna fucking be
No.
shelling out $50-$60 a month to watch WWE pay-per-views? Absolutely not.
Nope.
It's just not gonna
Even
happen.
the AEW pay-per-views I've watched since, I was going to say the past couple of years, but
There's a lot fewer of
that
those.
basically covers the company's inception. But yeah, even then, I've basically hung out with friends and contributed. We just contributed money.
But like those, I don't mind as much because there's only like 4 of them. maybe 5 of them if you want to include like
So far.
Forbidden Door or like an ROH thing or something. But like,
which by the way, they did confirm within a week they are doing All In and All Out.
So it's a pay-per-view back-to-back?
I don't know if it's a pay-per-view back-to-back, but yeah, they're doing those shows basically within a week of each other. Which is like, are you fucking kidding?
Yeah, they should have just canceled All Out.
They'll probably just call Dynamite All In or something like that. Like they do that all the time. They name a lot of their shows and make them seem bigger.
That is an approach that I do like about having separate pay-per-views, because I do kind of like this approach that, every month or two is like a bigger show. The problem is Tony Khan seems to think they need a bigger thing every single goddamn week.
Well, every Dynamite's booked like a pay-per-view essentially. So
it's like, dude. Chill with the yayo. Chill with the yayo. But I like the idea, and I think they did do this for a while. And motherfuck you, Vikings.
Yeah, they took Addison. That's
Giants.
I think the Giants are just sitting back because they'll take a corner.
God damn it. Anyway, I want somebody that could catch the ball on the offense, not the defense.
Oh, the Giants traded up to 24, so they're jumping Jacksonville for. I bet they're jumping Jacksonville for a corner.
God damn it.
Because I think Jacksonville could use it too.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, sorry, folks. Back on track. Even though
we warned them.
Yeah, and I will interrupt once the Giants pick is in. But anyway, I'm still kind of pissed I wanted Jordan Addison.
Pick is in.
So I like the idea of having like the extended time to build towards the pay-per-views. And if you need like a stopgap feud in between there, like say whoever the world champion is, like has maybe, I think a good example would have been Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn. Like if you had that extended time and there wasn't a pay-per-view anymore, or a pay-per-view in between, you have that mini feud with Sami Zayn going on, and then you have the main feud with Cody Rhodes. You can kind of build towards both and let Sami have his shot, like add like an extra hyped episode of SmackDown or something.
This is
an
funny.
example. Obviously, the how that was in real life is way different.
It is funny to me how, especially with the way that the pay-per-view model has just been flipped on its head, and now it's all subscription based, and it feels like there's more money to be made on TV rights versus pay-per-views. So it's almost like what's the ultimate goal now? Like, what makes you more money? Is it like a crazy Monday Night Raw or a SmackDown, or is it truly that month-to-month pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the right model is anymore, because sometimes
because it used to be that the TV shows were to advertise the house shows.
It used to be the TV show got you to buy tickets to the live event because that's where you got the big matches. And then when Raw started and pay-per-views and all that shit, it all flipped to, okay, you watch Raw and then you need to get to the pay-per-view. And
now house shows just seem pointless.
House shows are for guys to get reps at this point is really ultimately what that is.
Yeah.
You have like your occasional
Basically,
like MSG show that is, a bigger deal, but right. So I guess it's weird what the end game is with this. So if you're going to do a draft to then put a bigger focus on maybe bigger Raw or SmackDowns every so often, then you're going in the right direction. Because I do think you do hit that bump sometimes. It's like, all right, well, if there wasn't a pay-per-view here, how would we do this? Can we get like a little smaller feud going on? I don't know. It's just like random ADD thoughts popping into my head at this point, which is great for a podcast that you want to focus on one topic when you jump around. But I don't know. All that being said, like you said, the rumors out there that they may try that again with the brand exclusive pay-per-views, which they did briefly in 2017 after that 2016 draft or whatever the hell it was. I mean, I can't remember them, but at the same time, it's not, it isn't the worst, because you can have maybe like a lesser storyline, but then it's like, we're going to have a pay-per-view match that's like, I mean, I'm trying to think of two low card dudes that are making on pay-per-view.
So I think the pay-per-view the draft you're thinking of, was that the one when they introduced the Universal title?
Probably.
So Dean Ambrose walked out of that draft as the world champion, because the month before, all 3 members of the Shield were world champion within one night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Roman walked in with the title, lost it to Seth. Dean cashed in, had the title. Then they blew off the Shield triple threat at Battleground. That seems like something that should have been a SummerSlam thing. And Dean Ambrose goes to SmackDown. Who's his first fucking feud? Guesses?
I got nothing.
I can't remember.
And it was his SummerSlam feud, no less. Guesses?
Can't remember.
No?
Can't
No?
remember.
Because he's here to show the world.
Oh,
Huh.
The show off Dolph Ziggler.
Huh.
Yeah, that was the fucking first feud of that, which was kind of like,
All right.
huh?
Hold on. All right. Here's a good example. Here's a brand exclusive pay-per-view of what it looked like in 2017. It was Backlash, May 2017. Maybe you'll figure out where I'm going with this. So it was a SmackDown only pay-per-view. So here's what we got. Interesting kickoff match. Ty Dillinger defeats Aiden English.
Wow.
So take that with what you will. And then on the proper pay-per-view, you have Shinsuke Nakamura defeating Dolph Ziggler, the Usos defeating Breezango to retain the titles, Sami Zayn over Baron Corbin.
Oh, wait. They were already world champions at this point?
They were
Those guys got a bright future in front of them. Those Usos.
Oh my God.
That joke will never die.
So I don't remember this at all. So if you remember this, please tell me. Who was in the welcoming committee?
I have no idea.
Give me wait. Michael McGillicuddy?
No, it's women. It's women.
Women. Give me a hint.
I mean, I'll give you one name if you can name the other two. One person in the welcoming committee was Natalia.
Oh, that doesn't narrow things.
I
down
honestly
at
don't
Tamina?
have a hint for you. Yes. One more.
Fuck.
All right, 5, 4. Yeah, that's
5
it.
more.
Carmella was the other one. Exactly.
Carmel.
I literally say that to say I don't remember any of this, but the welcoming committee defeated Naomi, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch in a 6-woman tag. And then next for the United States title, Kevin Owens defeats AJ Styles by countout. The semi-main event, Luke Harper defeats Eric Rowan. And can you give me the main event of this show?
Wait. What was that match one more time? Those last two?
Luke Harper and Eric Rowan.
And then for the US title, Kevin Owens defeats AJ Styles by
Right.
countout to retain the title. And the main event of that show, it may possibly be the greatest day in wrestling history.
Greatest day in wrestling history. Is that
If
the way?
you-
Is
That
that,
could mean a few.
is that Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton?
It
Jinder
sure
Mahal.
is.
Yes!
Jinder Mahal
God.
defeats Randy Orton
Yeah.
to win the WWE
Do not hinder
title.
Jinder.
Jinder was not hindered that day.
God
was
damn
not.
it.
The
Oh,
greatest day.
by
in
the way,
history.
Deontay Banks.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
I'm not mad.
No, I definitely like it.
Can we go back to talking about the
Yes,
greatest
let's go back to wrestling.
WWE
please,
champion of all
please go back.
time, Jinder Mahal?
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Go on. Tell me more.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
What else is there to say?
go on, Craig.
Well, I will say this. Say what you will about Jinder's run. I didn't hate it personally. Like,
Same.
I'm not.
I don't.
definitely
Why
didn't
does
hate
it? Why does it get so much hate?
I don't
Because
know,
there was
man.
nothing to him.
Like, I don't want to say like because the country's racist and he's brown, but what other reason is
No.
there to
Like,
hate it?
but
He
what's-
played
okay,
a great
but-
heel
No.
fucking
But
run.
what's the difference between like him being world champ and like it's like no offense to certain guys, but like I'm trying like who was like a weird WWE champion in like the
Okay.
2010s
Okay, before I answer that question.
by certain standards. Like
Before I
like,
answer-
like I don't want to say like Dolph Ziggler, but like what like I know he was red hot when he cashed in like Money in the Bank, but it's like what's the difference?
Okay, let me just say what my
love
issue
Dolph.
was with Jinder's reign. 2 things. One, just fucking killed Shinsuke Nakamura's momentum. Like
Fair.
you got seriously, he went from being John Cena and Randy Orton 2 weeks in a row clean to losing to Jinder Mahal. Second,
Jinder Mahal's the world champion. That's what people do to world champions. They lose.
Anyway, second off, it just felt like it was a constant repeat loop. Like it felt like
are you about to give me the heels cheat, so therefore he's not good argument?
The Chris Lupo argument?
no, I'm not giving you the fucking.
The fucking Bollywood boys just interrupted every
Thank you.
match.
No,
We got some good bumps out of that though. That one that he took
No,
on the
My
table.
God, Randy Orton dumping them on their head
Yes,
on the announce
yes.
table will never get old, especially because
No, it
Randy's
will not.
reaction afterwards is hilarious. He's like,
No, it's not.
"Ooh,
It's
I mean, her."
it's the fact that everything from the match finishes, almost the matches, and the promos and the build were almost exactly verbatim.
Are you talking shit about the modern day Maharaja?
The entrance was
Do I
sick
need
with the
to
red
rip my
carpet,
pants
like,
off
ran-
live on air, Craig?
I'm just saying, I didn't think it was all that bad.
No,
I thought
it was
I thought it was
repetitive.
unexpected, and when it happened, I remember being
No, when it
like,
happened, yes, it was.
"That's kind of awesome."
unexpected.
Like I thought it was
was-
kind of cool.
I will
like this
admit
too
the
hot,
shock
sorry.
factor there was kind of neat. I will give you that. But I just felt his title run was just the same thing over and over. Like for the promos, the delivery, the what he
not-
said.
I'm not going to argue in favor of this, but you could argue Roman Reigns is the same title reign. If that's the argument you want to make for Jinder,
You want me to go there? So you want me to go there? Okay.
if that's the argument, listen,
going
I'm not.
Hold on.
I'm not-
No, Mike. Guess what? I am going to go there. If he did not have the entire fucking bloodline, this storyline, Roman's reign, would not be nearly as good as it is right now. There, I said it.
Well, what's the difference between that and the Bollywood boys?
You're going to compare the Bollywood boys to Sami Zayn,
I'm not
Main
comparing.
event,
I'm not
Jey
I'm not
comparing
Uso,
comparing
talent.
wrestlers. I'm not
son of
comparing talent.
Umaga.
That's not what I'm saying.
Nope,
What I'm
not
saying
comparing-
is
I'm
the
not
angle
comparing-
itself, where
Mr.
the guy is the head of the table
The,
and
but
his
he
boss and
also
his
had a
henchmen
guy
around.
with him named Paul Heyman.
Yeah, well, Paul Heyman makes all the difference for everybody,
Right.
obviously.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Look,
if it was just Roman,
So give Jinder Paul
Then
Heyman.
there
Do you
is-
like that title run?
What?
So give Jinder Paul Heyman. Do you like that title run?
He's
the thing
thinking.
is, I can also believe that Roman can kick my ass much easier.
I think.
I don't know, man. Fucking Jinder's shredded.
Jinder,
dude.
yeah.
Jinder's no
Jinder
slouch.
will kill me.
Yeah,
Jinder is
Jinder's no slouch.
shredded.
But yeah, he's no slouch. I'm not saying
I think
that.
it's I think you can arguably say that Jinder Mahal has a better body than Roman Reigns.
I'd say that. But Roman's more of a thick boy.
How can you tell a dude was a wrestler without saying he's a wrestler? Man, that dude's shredded.
There you go.
That dude's got a nice body.
Okay. I'm sticking with my argument though.
It's fair. It's fair. But listen, we're ranting about Jinder Mahal now. I fucking love this. I love this week. All because, but that's just an example of what a brand exclusive pay-per-view at least looked like 6 years ago. So
Give me a Raw one.
You can argue that like the top of the card was fine. Again, whatever. Like if you want, it's not even about the Jinder Mahal stuff. So put fucking put Roman Reigns in there instead of Jinder. So you have Roman Reigns and Randy Orton as your main event or something, and then Kevin Owens and AJ Styles as your undercard. That's not bad. When you get lower, it does fall off a bit. So I can understand why maybe those brand exclusive pay-per-views aren't the best. Let me find a Raw one. There's probably one right near it. Let's go with. I'll go with the one a month later. This Backlash was May 21st and Extreme Rules was June 4th, which was a Raw pay-per-view. So we'll go with that. Let's see. The kickoff show, Kalisto defeats Apollo Crews.
Okay.
Next up, Intercontinental title. Apparently the stipulation was, if Ambrose gets DQ'd, he loses the title. The Miz defeats Dean Ambrose to win the IC title.
Yep.
Rich Swann and Sasha Banks defeat Noam Dar and Alicia Fox.
That's right. Rich Swann was once a cruiserweight champion
I
and
remember.
employed by WWE.
I remember.
That ended ugly.
Let's see. A Raw Women's Championship kendo stick on a pole match. Alexa Bliss defeats Bailey.
Yeah, I remember that. Is that when Alexa won Bailey's title?
No, it says retained, so she was the champ going in.
It must have been the rematch.
Well, this next one's kind of fun. Raw
remember when Alexa Bliss was constantly women's champion?
Yeah, I remember that.
That happened a lot on both.
I remember.
You remember?
Kind of miss those days with her. But anyway.
All right, Raw tag titles is actually a fun one. It was a cage match, and the only way to win was for both partners to escape the cage. So you had the bar Cesaro and Sheamus defeat the Hardys.
Oh, that was a good match. I remember that match.
Right.
That was a solid match. Very quickly, the Bills took a tight end.
Yeah, that's probably a good pick.
Yeah, Dalton
Kincaid. He's really good.
That's actually a good pick. I like that one. Continue.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Cruiserweight submission match. Neville defeats Austin Aries to retain the title.
Yeah.
Speaking of ugly divorces,
that was probably, I want to say that was Aries' last match in the company.
I mean, probably.
Wouldn't doubt it.
It
was that or the month after.
Interesting. Number one contender, fatal 5-way Extreme Rules match. So I guess the winner was the number one contender for the Universal title. You had Samoa Joe defeating Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and Bray Wyatt.
I remember this match.
That's wild to think that in 2017, Samoa Joe was going over all these guys.
Choked out Roman?
But like, so clearly Raw seems to have had.
I'm pretty sure this is
on it.
No, I think I know where Joe got his title shot too.
Great Balls of Fire against
That
Brock.
Is right.
I remember that.
And I honestly thought that Joe should have gone over there.
I mean, he probably should have, but that's so okay. So those are what brand exclusive pay-per-views looked like back in 2017, the last time they did it.
So basically, Raw was dominated by Brock not being there.
Right. So this is what you'll run into is if the shows aren't evenly matched up, then that's why the brand exclusive pay-per-views are not a good idea, because the SmackDown one definitely feels a lot weaker than the Raw one.
Yeah.
But I feel like the current roster right now, there is enough talents all over the place and down in NXT.
Yeah, I agree.
To be able to pull it off.
I agree with you. That's why that remains to be seen. If they do it, it's fine. Again, the Peacock subscription platform, as long as that's a thing, I'm cool with it. I'll watch the shows.
And the other thing is you're going to get a lot of call-ups, and supposedly the whole point of this, and we've talked about it like off air, and I mentioned it last week, I don't remember, is that this draft apparently is supposed to be Triple H's clean slate to work.
Yes, which is what I hope that's the case. I hope he's allowed to do it.
Sounds of course, like
that also remains to be seen, because we read the reports now. It seems week to week
Vince was fucking changing the show remotely,
but like
while kicking CM Punk out.
If he's doing the show remotely, and I'll say it again because I said it last week about just put Vince McMahon in the Truman Show and let him think that he's doing everything, as opposed, and then like, yeah, sure, you got this, and then just ignore him and let him cook on his own. But like, if he's doing this remotely, just I don't know, fucking launch the laptop he's on video on into the fucking ocean or whatever body of water is nearby, and then just go, sorry, man, you're breaking up, we can't hear you. Yes. And then just go about your day. Like, yes. I don't know, unfortunately,
I feel like there's probably many ways for Vince to communicate to anybody he needs to inside the company. So I don't think that's really an option.
No, I know.
He's just texting Hunter's phone nonstop.
Yeah. Like, especially considering
answer me, you son of a bitch.
That's his son-in-law, like literally.
Answer me, you son-in-law of a bitch.
I believe Boston deserves an apology. Apologize, you son of a bitch. That was the best one.
Yeah. So anyway, I think there's a deep enough roster now to pull this off successfully. And I think if they really are letting Triple H run with this is basically now it's like, okay, show us what you got, Triple H, with do what you're going to do.
Right. Yeah.
I'm optimistic. I think there's a
Before-
deep enough talent pool. I
Yeah.
think there's enough in each respective division.
Mhm.
I think there's plenty of main eventers. There's plenty of mid carders. There's plenty of jobbers. There's plenty of women. There's plenty of tag teams. You got a couple
Now-
factions. You got factions left and right for whatever reason.
I know.
I do
they're
think
like,
Like
that's
it's
fair.
like all of a sudden they're New Japan.
I do think that's fair to say that, like, if there's one thing that can maybe, I guess, from my perspective, lean it to like more of a positive side, it's the fact that, like, if that were the case, if this is like, all right, Triple H is getting his second run basically now, and this is his first
Actually,
start.
you could kind of call this his first real run because his first run was basically picking up Vince's pieces.
Yeah, but we got to see what he was doing, like right from SummerSlam. We knew,
And it was
like,
pretty
okay,
good.
this is different. You know what I mean?
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
was enjoying it.
absolutely. So if
Mhm.
this is the start of that again, if Triple H really is going to have control over everything, and as Skylar said at the beginning of the show, consistency, actually keep up with it and stay consistent with it, I think that could be kind of exciting. But
Yeah.
again, I guess I'll have to reserve judgment
So,
until we see it.
I'll say one more thing about the actual brand extension itself is when they do it right, and because sometimes if it feels like, and I think this is also why they did it in the first place, is because you mentioned like the number of hours of TV. When all the storylines are linear across all that TV, you're talking about back then when it was 4 hours. Now you're at 5 hours plus, whatever other stuff you got going on. When it feels like you're watching the same storylines play out on both shows, it does tend to get a little like long-winded, at times for certain stuff. And I know there's still stuff separate now, but a lot of it just bleeds into each other. So to truly have a separate, like you do have two separate companies, Raw and SmackDown, to have completely separate, no mixing, no mingling, whatever, if there's injuries or whatever, tough, it's, you almost have to run it like it's like, sort of like it's a sports team, I guess. Like you can't just magically, I know that's not how it works, but in a perfect world, everything stays separate. So it feels like you're watching two different companies. That's what I want. Like, and it was cool to an extent when they first did it. Cause then after a couple of years, when they didn't do the interpromotional stuff, like Mania's coming up and the whole build for like something like Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels at the time, where two guys on separate shows where they're not, these guys aren't interacting week to week. So now, okay, cool. We get to see it at WrestleMania. To do that over a long period of time and maybe set up those matches you want to see, I think is pretty cool too. When it's done right. I think that's a rare example of like the inter-promotional matches being done well and having a good build.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you could definitely still do that kind of thing when it comes to obviously WrestleMania, but probably also like you could probably do that for at least one match on any of the big four.
Yeah.
Where you just have maybe like one guy kind of invade a show and start a feud off that way, or you could plenty of other ways to get around to starting it. But
and also, don't you fuckers do it. Don't you fuckers dare do Raw versus SmackDown in War Games. I can't have it. Don't want it.
You don't
No.
want it? What about Survivor Series? Raw versus SmackDown Survivor Series like they did that one year.
No.
You
I want no.
Survivor Series is now basically War Games.
Yeah, that's true.
You can still have a traditional Survivor
no,
Series match on the show, but
You
I want
can,
please, no part of Raw vs. SmackDown tag team bullshit. We're fighting for brand supremacy. I never want to see that shit again.
You didn't enjoy that?
They stink. Especially like in 2010, it's like I gotta watch these fucking guys have trot out in fucking red and blue t-shirts like they give a fuck. I always hated it. I always hated it.
You don't want to see a big like 30-man battle royal, not Royal Rumble, 30-man battle royal with 15 dudes wearing red shirts and 15 dudes wearing blue shirts.
I hate it. And then Big Show rips off a Raw shirt for an ECW shirt or whatever.
Oh God.
NXT, it would be NXT now, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fucking John Cena gets drafted to SmackDown and with the first pick, and with the last pick of the night gets drafted back to Raw.
Yep.
Triple H doesn't want to work Tuesdays.
I'll say this.
That's a great pay-per-view.
Before we, at least do a little bit of, maybe breakdown of maybe where guys should go or who should, face who. There's a new title in town. And before we get into about the belt, I want to ask this question. Now, take the wrestling storylines out, take all this stuff out. If you're truly drafting, do you want, because clearly it's either you draft Roman Reigns and you get the Universal title, or you automatically get, the new WWE World Heavyweight title. If you're drafting, do you want the established star Roman Reigns in that? Or do you want the mystery surrounding this new title? If you're truly, again, I want you to take wrestling storylines out. I want you to take any kind of wrestling logic out. If you're drafting from like a sports perspective, do you want that established title, or do you want the what if of this new title to go on to your show?
If I'm kayfabe drafting right now,
Yes.
drafting as if I'm a general manager,
Yes.
I am 100% out of 100 times taking Roman Reigns with the first overall pick. Are you kidding me by even asking that? Come on. Look at what this man has done these past few years. This is the best champion we've seen in a long time. It's one of the longest reigns we've seen. It is the longest reign we've seen pretty much in the modern era at this point. We're about to get close to 1,000 days here, and I think that might be what we're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why have him win at WrestleMania if you're not going to have him get to 1,000? I feel like.
True.
So I'm picking Roman all day. I got to take Roman Reigns as my number one overall pick. I think he's he's the island of relevancy for a reason. He's the most relevant superstar in that company. He's the most relevant wrestler in the world right now. Give me Roman Reigns pick number one.
Skylar, agree or disagree?
Fuck that ugly ass Universal title. Okay.
So you
you don't like the new belt?
I said Universal title.
Okay, just making sure.
No, I fucking love the new title. I think it's the best world title since
undisputed title.
If not the undisputed title, then the Winged Eagle.
So you want that new belt?
I want that new belt, but I'm mad about that new belt. I mean, I was okay. Obviously in the group chat, I was talking about how great that new belt is.
Mm-hmm.
But then I thought about it. But then I also thought just now we're not talking storyline wise. So before we get into storyline wise, I'm going to be the guy that takes the chance on making someone new.
Interesting. Like they're like it's funny. Like I figured there was again, take kayfabe drafting. There's a method to everyone's madness, which either way you go is intriguing.
I mean, my thing is for all of 24 hours, I was like, oh shit, Finn Balor's a face of the company. He's an inaugural world champion. Oh, and he's gone.
Okay, we'll just put you into this match and it's gone.
Yeah.
And
no,
it's gone.
For that 24 hours is what I would start with.
I mean, that's fair.
Although he wasn't the first
fair.
overall pick in the draft. I think he was like he was like a third rounder.
Well, whatever.
But for this, supposedly that's still like a really high pick.
Right. All right.
Not that in the NFL, a third rounder is terrible. I mean,
I just think.
But you're also
the biggest draw.
Yeah.
Draw, yes, but
But you want to create. You want to cook.
I want to cook.
Right. You want to cook.
I want to get them juices flowing.
I want those instant ratings. I want that instant gratification.
Yeah.
I just want to nut and be over with it.
If you're booking on,
I want them to enjoy it. I want them to.
You want a nice massage with a happy ending. I just want
if you're booking on like 2K23 GM mode, then that first Raw better have like a 6-way Hell in a Cell, fucking eat my ass, holy shit match, so you can get that ratings pop.
We're not doing Kennel from Hell.
I didn't say Kennel from Hell.
You described it
because I said eat my ass.
That's probably what those dogs were doing.
They weren't biting the wrestlers, though.
Just change Mark Henry's theme song. Somebody gonna get their ass ate.
By the way, before I
that needs to be Nick Payne's theme song, by the way.
By the way, before I continue, I just want to point out it is now pick 28, and Will Levis is still on the board.
If he doesn't go to New Orleans, he's dropping. That's going to win my Hendon Hooker not drafted in the first round bet, so I'm not mad.
I didn't see. I saw Hendon Hooker as like a early to mid second. Anyway,
All right. So
anyway, back on topic.
So right. So all right. So this draft. So let's at least get into it a little bit. Maybe just like a couple early stuff, like where do we think like the top guys should go?
Let's get the obvious out of the way. Just keep Roman on SmackDown.
No, I mean, but also I wonder who has more influence nowadays. Was it be Fox or USA? I'd imagine Fox.
Oh, Fox. No,
Fox.
Fox is a national.
Right. Fox is going to have more of a say. Like I'm confident that
Fox had more of a say before.
No, I know, but I'm confident that Fox. I don't think Fox is going to be like, we want full creative control of like who's on their network, but I do think to an extent they'll be like, listen, Roman Reigns staying here.
Fox is sending Triple H or Vince or whoever they're sending it to, but they're sending them the Aaron Rodgers wish list as we speak.
This is true.
They're sending them all right, these are the guys we need to make this happen. Have I mentioned
they
that
may
Aaron
not
Rodgers
get
is on the Jets yet? Have I brought that up at all?
What?
I just wanted to make sure that
it finally happened.
Oh yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Next thing you're going to tell me is that the Ravens finally re-signed Lamar Jackson.
Guess what, Skyler? I got some good news for you, buddy. That happened today.
Anything about it being good news?
5-year contract. Well, whatever. You were right, so it makes it good news because you win. You win a prize.
I was aware.
I know you're aware. We were
talking.
Yeah,
thank
we were
God we
literally
can stop.
talking about it earlier.
I can finally stop talking about fucking Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not.
Lamar Jackson, and you as the Jets fan, of course. And I was thankful to stop talking about Daniel Jones because now I got to worry about Saquon Barkley and Dexter Lawrence.
Yep.
Should have saw that shit coming. Anyway, so yeah, first overall pick, Roman Reigns, no question, SmackDown. They probably also get Ronda Rousey because for some reason.
Well, hold on. So also, is this a snake draft? SmackDown gets the first. SmackDown gets the first pick, and then Raw gets 2 and 3.
Right.
Come on.
Is it? I can't see it being a snake draft.
Or is it going to be that shit that they were doing where like Raw got 2 picks and then SmackDown got 1 and then 2 and then 1 and then 2 and then 1 or some shit?
Clearly that remains to be seen, but I'm just going to go out on a limb and say Raw is going to have the 2nd overall pick and the 3rd overall pick, while SmackDown will get 4. So
one of those is probably Brock Lesnar.
What if the number 2 overall pick was Gunther? They get then Raw gets the Intercontinental Champion. And
then you're making that man the fucking inaugural champion, if not
what if
the guy who beats the inaugural champion.
I sort of heard this theory slightly. Like, what if you took Gunther and then like Cody Rhodes? Just another thing, like, oh, Cody's not the first pick from either show. Just another something to kind of add into that.
I don't want Cody.
I forget where I saw. I read it or I heard something where not necessarily Gunther, but just like, well, what if would it be like another thing to add to like Cody's story?
I kind of like the Gunther pick if they're going to push him. Like if he's going to really get the push that I think that they want to give him, I think
and that he should get
would be real
but again, it's because he has one of the championships it
also makes sense storyline wise too. Yeah.
Like obviously you'll have the vacant world title, but let's get the IC title on here. Which also my other thing, if we're hyping up the Intercontinental Champion so much as he can literally be the first pick for Raw, like the 2nd overall, where would that put Austin Theory in terms of the draft? Should SmackDown be racing, or maybe it would be by default that Austin Theory would go to SmackDown? There's still so many details that I'm not
I think
aware
they would call
of.
Vince and ask him.
Oh, okay.
They would call Vince and ask him.
Hold on.
They'll just find a way to get Theory onto SmackDown. That's really all it comes down to. You don't have to storyline write him up into the next spot because you got a storyline rush to get a champion.
That's true.
I just think it'll just work out that way. You know what I mean?
Because I also feel like I wonder if like by default, because then you'd have like the SmackDown, like is Rhea Ripley automatically on SmackDown because she's the SmackDown Women's Champs and Bianca Belair on Raw for that reason?
Or do they change the name of those titles?
That's what I'm wondering.
Or do they do the title switch that they tried to do with Charlotte and Becky?
And then Charlotte was a bitch about it.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, you guys have been drafted to the other show, so we need you to exchange titles. let's do this again.
Yeah.
They did that with the tag titles too. It's just that
Right.
the New Day and Street
Yeah.
Profits weren't assholes
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah,
They're just
well,
like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But
So then what I guess
I want to make something very clear though.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want Cody Rhodes drafted wherever Roman goes.
Really?
I
Because
would like that too.
I feel like they
Nope,
should be
I do.
separate.
Nope.
Cody
Nope.
needs to win that title.
Yes.
I
He
no,
needs to finish that story. He needs to win that title that his daddy was never able to win. Daddy.
That's true.
I agree.
No, I do think that's
Otherwise,
where they're
all that
going
title
with it.
is a fucking consolation prize. And
I
that is a
think-
gripe I'm going
yeah.
to get into.
No, I agree
think-
with you 100%, Skylar. I was actually thinking the same thing, and I wanted to say that if you draft Cody to Raw and then just have him win that title, it automatically I feel like takes away from that title because like
That's
it's just
true.
it's not going to feel
He
as
is
strong.
cuckold.
I'll say
It's
this
not
then.
gonna, it's
He
not
is
going to feel as
cuckold.
strong for sure.
If you're going, should this world title, is this almost, I don't want to call it like your secondary world title because I know it's not treated that way, but
Better not be. It's a much better looking title.
no, well, no, but all the
No, but you have to
I'm
build
just
it
saying.
though.
I'm just saying.
You have to build
But-
that title, which means
right,
you have
so
to get a
who-
good first champion with a good first.
Oh,
run.
I
who should
do
be your
also
first
have it.
world champ? We're all assuming it's going to be on Raw. So who should be on Raw, and who do you think should be? Who should be the first champ? And
I
who
would
know
should
love to
who's
be
see
in
Finn Balor
contention?
get another shot that lasts more than a day.
I do agree Finn Balor should get another shot, but you know the name I've heard floating around, which is the safest of safe picks.
Seth, I mean,
Yep.
Seth Rollins. Yeah,
I
that
would
makes
say,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the name going around, and
That makes
that if you
sense.
want to be as safe as fucking possible, then yeah, go with Seth.
Yeah, 100%. You could definitely build a great title run with Seth. Obviously, he's one of the best in the world. He's good at.
But I kind of want someone newer.
Let me say this before we get it. Should there, because again, if we want to flash back to that first draft, they did only have the one world champ, and they considered, okay, if you're the world champ, you're just on both shows.
They're on both shows.
Should they have stuck with
I was
that
thinking,
with Roman? Because like they've been getting away with, having, all right, let's just have at least the last few months. All right, let's have the Intercontinental Championship being a big spot on a pay-per-view or a SmackDown or whatever. Could they have just okay, the Roman's on Smack? I don't know. I guess I don't know how they would do it, but I don't know. I wonder if should they have kept just the one title? I know we did
Could
all this
they
talk like,
have-
oh, they should split it, blah blah blah.
Could they have? I think
They should have
could
split it.
but should they have? I don't think so. Because one
Hmm.
reason I think Roman Reigns is going to have the Brock Lesnar argument. I don't want to work all those dates.
It's true.
And then number two, also,
he's already signed to a contract with less states.
No, I'm
Yeah.
aware of that. And how do you get less dates? You put him on one show instead of two. So, and boom, you already just cut his dates in half. But
That's true.
You cut his
Yeah, his
potential
dates
dates in half just by putting him on one show.
Right.
Problem
Right.
solved. But on top of
Right.
that, I think that the new title, I think when I first heard it, I was just like, really? A new world title? Really? Is that what we need right now? But with this whole brand extension and if Triple H is really going to get a fresh start, and if they're really going to try and run as two separate shows and stay consistent, all of the talking points we hit before, if all of that stuff goes to plan, I think it could be really cool to have two separate champions, because that gives you, again, more opportunities down the line for your bigger shows, champion versus champion stuff, or whatever. You think about how much fun it was. And I'm going to bring up a touchy subject here in a second, but how much fun was it at WrestleMania 20 having two new world champions standing in the ring
That's true.
celebrating together
Yes.
at the end of the show?
That's true.
Yes.
You know, how
Especially
guess you're right. If
those
they can
two
get back to
in that
that.
moment.
But this is also why that they should keep everything, that they need to keep everything separate. Like, if I'll say this, I'll fast forward now. We have our draft, everything is separate. Royal Rumble time. Or no, I'll even say Money in the Bank. Should you should you like if you're on Raw and you win Money in the Bank, should you only be allowed to challenge for the world title?
I think things like Money in the Bank and Royal Rumble should be you get to pick. Which
Yeah.
Okay.
Royal Rumble has already been kind of running on that anyway. But
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
like even with Money in the
Yeah.
Bank, unless you want to have 4 ladder matches in one
I know
night,
that's what I was thinking. Are we gonna have 4 Royal Rumbles? That's impossible.
no,
No.
that's
I like
think
the
that's
idea
going to
of
stick to
I like the
you pick
idea
your
of being
champion.
able to choose.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
But yeah, even when it comes to Money in the Bank, I think that's just a better option. I think it's better if you just have, because imagine like a SmackDown wrestler who's
Shows
always
up
on
on Raw.
SmackDown shows up on a Raw show out of nowhere, like no build up to it, and just pops up and runs down with the briefcase. Like what a moment that is right there in and
That's
of
true.
itself.
Well, they
That's true.
also didn't they for a while they did do the briefcase for each individual brand.
Right, but I think
They
that was
did.
but it was when they didn't have the women's.
Exactly.
So then
Yep.
they added it. So that's why I think if we were still back in those days of we don't have any women's like matches, maybe get away with 2 different ones for each brand like
Right.
they used to. Maybe not for the Rumble, but at least Money in the Bank they would have done that. But
Yeah.
because you have the women now, you're not gonna have 4 ladder matches in one night.
Right.
Or if they're
Or-
building up Money in the Bank, listen, hear me out. They got 2 nights of WrestleMania. What if you did 2 nights of Money in the Bank, build that up as like your 3rd big show, 2 nights of the Royal Rumble? I'm just spitballing here.
I wouldn't be opposed.
You could have a Raw night and a
a
SmackDown
Raw
night?
main event. Well, you don't have to even do like an all Raw and all SmackDown. You could even
You
just
can
like
mix.
have
You
like
can
fluid
mix.
shows, but just have like the Raw main event and the SmackDown main event.
Listen, I'm just saying that might be one way to solve it because this 2 nights of Mania seems good. And if you truly want to have these like big special events, I'm not saying every pay-per-view's got to be 2 nights now, but I'm just, the 2 nights of Mania is, I honestly love it now. Like I
It is
love,
good.
I like these last, like whatever, 3 years or whatever they've been doing the 2 nights, obviously the first pandemic, the first COVID Mania in the empty arena sort of outlier, but the other 2 night Manias have been cool. So maybe we look to extend that in the future. I don't know. Interesting thought, but no, but I also agree with just let the winner choose whatever they want because you can create that element of surprise. Oh, are they coming? You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Can I explain one gripe I'm kind of having with the new world title?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Maybe this is a minor thing.
Yeah.
Maybe this is just me trying to respect history.
Mm-hmm.
But my issue that what's about to happen is about 60 years of history is about to be wiped out.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Because you're going to have the World Heavyweight Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to acknowledge Roman, go on, acknowledge him.
We have to acknowledge.
Audience at home, raise your finger. He's gonna keep the Universal title. So what's the odd title out?
What, the WWE title?
There you go.
But but I also and I think I've heard like,
But they'll probably just turn Roman's title into just the WWE.
they would
Yeah,
do
but
that.
then
They'll probably still call it the WWE Universal title, but they'll probably eventually just make it one belt.
I'll also say this. I think I heard like it might have been like Kevin Owens say in an interview something like any iteration of like a title, whatever the name might be, it's still like it's still some form of like the WWE title. It's just evolved with changing circumstances over the 60 some odd years that the title's been in existence.
But like, for example, with Cody Rhodes, it's like is he going to win the title that, not only that his daddy didn't win, but the one that Bruno Sammartino won, the one that Hulk Hogan won.
If you want to call, but if you technically want to call Roman Reigns that, because that was the title Brock had, and that's what Roman has now,
then do we erase the Universal title lineage?
You could just stop it. It's not about erasing it. You could just stop it or something.
Fair enough.
I suppose.
Do you understand my concern though?
I do, but like, it's just like, I don't know. It's just like times change, I suppose. Like,
I mean, part of me feels it could be kind of an underhanded thing by like, oh, Endeavor owns the company now. New era, new world champions, new lineage.
I don't know. I also
Probably
I
not.
think,
That's probably me just overthinking it, but still.
I was gonna say I think that's just looking too much into stuff. Like again, I think
What is
any dishwasher, man, thing's loud as shit. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. It's not gonna. I don't think. I don't know. I don't think it's a concern
Okay.
because like you could have said the same thing when they had like because where's the world title history.
What do you mean?
Like the world title history is technically the world heavyweight title history is technically gone by that logic.
That was
Oh,
the WCW title. That was done out of spite.
No, I get it. I'm just saying, like I mean, it's sort of the same logic. It's just it ends and then it evolves. It evolves. That's all I got. I don't know. The WWE title is still. I think they'll consider the Universal title part of that history because I think that's what they do now.
It's just kind of weird having two lineages kind of merge, but okay. I think we're probably staying on this for a little too long. Let's move on.
No, I hear you. So then what do we like? Where do the top guys end up? Like, what's the best case scenario? What's the logical scenario? I suppose.
hopefully you have a decent spread, but
Okay.
I see
mean-
more of the top guys probably going to SmackDown.
At this point, right? I do, but I also,
So-
but I think it'll be kind of even at the end of the day, though.
I'm hoping so.
So I'm trying to look through here. Okay.
Like if Roman is the number one pick on SmackDown, I feel like we can assume that. What's the number one Raw pick?
Seth.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think
Especially
that's
if he might be the guy that wins. That's the inaugural champion.
That's true too.
Or if they figure out his whole situation, Drew McIntyre,
No, that's true.
who also deserves a title run that has an audience.
That's true. Yeah,
and I could
he
see, and I could see
deserve it.
him. Yeah, but I could see him being an early champion with this new title too.
No, I agree.
But yeah. So
The Miz.
Nah,
The
Miz
Miz,
will
I
be a
feel
mid
like-
rounder.
Yeah, no, I don't mean like early, but I feel like he'll probably go earlier than.
No, they'll punish him for talking with CM Punk.
I don't think people. I don't.
Kidding,
That's,
kidding,
yeah.
kidding, kidding.
I was like,
kidding,
don't let me get into this.
kidding. That's for next week.
I think wrestling's moved on from that petty shit. Britt Baker was literally like on NXT as Adam Cole's like dying in
Yeah.
his match.
They put her on camera and everything,
Yeah,
which is funny.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and then they edited her out in future broadcasts.
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, of course.
She's a contracted wrestler for another company.
This is true.
This
is true.
Cody's gonna obviously be Cody should go to SmackDown by the logic I
agree.
used. I'm trying to think. I'm like looking at a list of like who's eligible. I think Ray. I think the LWO and Judgment Day end up on the same show unless they split any of them up. Yeah, that's right.
I was curious what's going to happen with all that because you do have a lot of these tag teams and factions coming around. Are you
Apparently LWO is a little more popular than they anticipated.
Well, because the shirts were fire.
Yeah, the shirts are back.
The shirts are
Yeah.
badass, and it's
I
like
say that they were great in like the year 2000 or whatever that was around. So
And
yeah,
I
of course people see it.
kinda- I kind of hate how Santos Escobar's kind of just been there to take pinfalls because that dude is insanely talented.
Oh yeah, no, but I am curious what's going to happen with all that with like factions and stuff
Who
like
gets split up? Who goes?
because like but you have to look at the big ones I guess at this point like the bloodline like do the Usos end up on SmackDown? Does Solo end up on SmackDown? Is it going to be like by chance or
Yeah, they're gonna
do
do
they-
some. No, they'll do some
we'll be
storyline where
we'll be
Paul
interviewing as a
Heyman
team?
Paul Heyman pulled some strings to make sure all the bloodline is on one show or some shit like that.
That's true. And then what? So then
Plus,
what about?
who knows? For all we know, tomorrow night the Usos win the SmackDown, the tag team titles again.
That's true too.
I hope not, but
We'll find out. I might actually watch SmackDown Live tomorrow for like the first time in forever. I'm curious how this is all, or tonight. Excuse me if you're listening to this on Friday.
I mean, I'm not going to have a kid tomorrow night, so I might do it too.
Well, there you go.
I mean, granted, he's in bed by then anyway, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, 8 o'clock, you DVR and all that. But I don't know, man. I'm real curious how this is going to end up. I hope they stick to it, and I hope that they get it right. And like, are there going to be like I don't want the authority figureheads, but like, is there going to be like some kind of GM named, or like, are they just going to like, well,
William Regal's coming back?
Is Adam Pearce just going to like pick against himself? He's just going to go out for
Regal's coming back, so it would not surprise me to see him be put right back in one of those GM
Regal
roles.
can't be on TV until 2024.
I did hear that, yeah. Or read that somewhere.
He's still coming.
By the way, unless the Chiefs are about to take Will Levis for whatever reason, Will Levis is falling to the second round.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah.
Hilarious. But I don't know. I think right now, unless they announce something tomorrow night, I don't see any authority figures or anything.
Which I'm fine with. Like I said, they're so tiring in wrestling.
Yeah. But there are two things I do want to ask you guys about, or also give some input about. First off, surprise returns that get drafted.
Randy Orton at this point, that would be the biggest.
I don't know about, actually, I know who's the biggest that's actually being rumored. Well, maybe not the biggest technically, but like it's going to get the biggest pop.
I'm trying to think of who's been out. Big E.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
They're saying,
is he close to being healthy though?
I think
it's been a year.
I think it's like close enough that to the point where you could draft him and just give him another month or two to work into a storyline or something.
No kidding.
Just let him start doing the New Day intros again.
I miss Big E.
Oh, Mike's wedding.
Oh, man,
you have no idea how much.
I wish.
I
wish I could ask him how much money would it have taken.
You could have negotiated a price with him. I bet.
I should have
I bet you
should have hit him up on Twitter.
A fair price.
I should have just started tweeting at him, be like, "Listen, I really want you to do your intro for my buddy's wedding," and just tweet at him every day, and I might have been able to get it through to him.
Oh, man and wife, don't you dare be sour. Anyway,
so I did find I found a mock draft. If I could certainly go through this quickly.
Oh, by the way, I also just quickly want to point out that another surprise return, but he is actually on the list of eligible people, is AJ Styles.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Out for a minute.
This is true.
Which is why
when did he get hurt?
Was it around Survivor Series? I want to say.
Okay, fair.
Fucked his ankle up because he wasn't in the Rumble and he wasn't at Mania.
True. So, all right. So here's this mock draft.
I also have one more.
Oh yeah, go
Actually,
for it.
I want to see if he's is he on this list? No, he isn't. Huh? The fuck's Bray Wyatt?
Well,
I think you could just ask that question in general.
Yep.
Yeah.
That. Yeah. I think that needs to be a surprise high pick.
That'd be cool.
LA
I
Knight.
hope so. He deserves
everyone.
it. Awesome.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like every time you see like some cheap headline, so and so legend thinks this guy's gonna be a big star. It's always LA Knight. Like Austin was just talking him up.
Yeah.
Push LA Knight.
He's awesome. The dude can talk and the dude can work and the dude's got a body. I don't see why he's not one of your top guys yet.
I think he will be. Okay. If we're going to talk people that will benefit from this, I'm putting him towards the top.
That's fair.
I think LA Knight will get his chance with the brand split. The least they could do after that Bray Wyatt match.
To be seen.
This is true.
To be seen.
All right, so I'm gonna go through. So I'm gonna go through this mock draft again. none of these rules could matter for the actual draft tomorrow, just because this mock draft follows the draft format from 2021, which I didn't know they did.
I barely remember that.
So, and in this, it seems like teams and certain things are drafted together, like tag team seems like it would stay together just based on reading this. So I'll just quickly go through and what they have. So they have first overall Roman Reigns. Second, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens as the first picks of Raw because they're the tag champs and technically by these rules can't break up. Pick 3, Rhea Ripley to SmackDown, and then 4, Bianca Belair to Raw is what they have. And then it continues on: Austin Theory to SmackDown, Seth Rollins to Raw, Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan to SmackDown, Becky Lynch to Raw, which having those two makes sense.
Keep Seth and
and then pick 9, Logan Paul to SmackDown.
Wait. Logan Paul's out.
I mean, is he?
I don't even see him on the list.
Oh, I feel like he could be. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
anyway, so this has
seems
Trish.
like a weird one.
Yeah, this has Trish Stratus to Raw, which seems kind of weird, but whatever. And then Bailey to SmackDown, Asuka to Raw. Oh, and then here we go. Here's some of the ones. So that has Braun Breaker to SmackDown.
Yeah, I was going to get into who's getting called up.
Yeah, this other one says Zoe Stark to Raw.
I like Zoe Stark.
I've seen a handful. The next one, Rey Mysterio to SmackDown. The Creed brothers to Raw they have coming up next. So
okay,
I guess
I can see them getting called up.
I don't know. It's a weird format because then there's like night 2. It has like Cody Rhodes getting drafted. So like I don't like this mock draft because it's like I guess the way they did it was maybe certain people got picked on night 1 at the time, other stars got picked on night 2 to split it evenly. I don't know.
I think it was a pool like that.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna stop reading it. It has Cody Rhodes, Usos. I'm gonna stop reading it for that reason because it doesn't make any sense. I don't think that's how it's gonna shake out. Okay. So my fault for reading this on the fly, and it sucks.
Okay, how about since
I hope it goes exactly like that.
We're getting pretty late.
Yeah.
We've had a good lengthy discussion. How about to end this out? I'm just going to rapid fire through this list that I have here, and you can either give a quick thought about what you think about it, or just don't care.
Yes, let's do this and sprinkle some crack on this episode.
Yes.
Okay, and I guess this is an ABC order. AJ Styles.
Yes.
I mean, he should go to. I feel like he feels like he should be on SmackDown.
I feel the same way. Does he stick around?
I was actually going to say Raw.
Does he stay with the Good Brothers?
Oh God, are the Good Brothers even like around? If like I haven't seen
them.
They're
on this list. I bet you the only reason they haven't been around was because AJ's been out.
Fair.
I think,
and they have that clause in their contract that says, "Well, if you're not going to use us, I'm going to hang out with my hot Asian wife." Carl Anderson's words, not mine.
Yep.
Fair.
I wish they were mine.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think they can keep them together for sure.
I hope so. Yeah. The Good Brothers deserve a better chance.
They can do whatever they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Again,
Akira
this could be good for somebody like them. So we'll see.
Akira Tozawa. Don't care.
Don't care.
Angel. Don't care.
Oh, no, please don't read every wrestler.
No, I told you I'm going to go rapid fire through this list.
Oh boy.
How many people are in the list?
We'll get through it. We're almost done with A.
Jesus Christ.
Angelo Dawkins. I guess the Street Profits could be listed differently. Angelo Dawkins.
They've been meaning to break them up for a while. To me, Montez Ford
has it.
Yeah, Montez Ford.
I feel like I mean I like the Street Profits. I like both of them. I don't know what Dawkins is going to do as a single. Maybe
Dawkins
he'll surprise
is perfectly fine, and I think Dawkins should join a 2.0 iteration of the Hurt Business.
I can agree with that, but he would need something if he's going to do anything successful. I think
Dawkins needs to be part of a group, or he just needs a whole new repackage, which I don't think is really going to help him because they really rarely go well.
Right.
With those kind of guys. So
he's going to end up being like, what was the dude that was with Otis?
Exactly.
Tucker.
Yeah, there you go. I think to a lesser extent, it might end up like that though.
I'm surprised Otis is still around. Or I'm sorry, Otis.
I don't think I can go through this whole list. I'm going to be honest with
I'm
you.
gonna make
man.
it. Okay.
I gotta pee.
Let me skip around a little bit. Okay, Oscar.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Raw.
Yeah,
Whatever
put her
feud
on
with
Raw, please stay
Bianca.
as the murder clown.
Yeah.
I like
Agreed.
that she brought Kana back.
Agreed.
Austin Theory, I think.
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
SmackDown only because I'm
SmackDown.
confident in Gunther to
And
Raw.
Gunther
so I
being
guess
Raw,
SmackDown.
yeah. So put
Yes.
Austin Theory SmackDown. Yep.
Baron Corbin. Don't
care.
fucking care.
He could go for the he could go for the US title or something. He's very good. He's a very good wrestler. I just think he doesn't.
He's not bad.
You
I think he
keep-
gets a lot of hate, but I just don't care about him.
Yeah.
I get that.
Bailey.
Oh yeah.
I want to know what the fuck is going on.
I don't know. The whole women's division. Apparently, they're cutting segments and bullshit. But
And
no,
they're breaking up Damage Control, which I like Damage
shame.
Control.
So do I. Bailey's fine on her own though. So
Yeah.
I'd say SmackDown. I guess.
I think it's more that I fear for Io Sky and Dakota Kai.
Yeah,
Their job security, because they're two of my favorites.
that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, we got trips in there, so hopefully.
Let's hope so.
stick around.
I think Bailey goes to Raw. Becky Lynch, Raw.
Raw.
Bianca Belair,
Let's do
Raw.
Raw.
Bobby Lashley. I'm gonna say SmackDown. Change it up.
Yeah, I feel like he's been on Raw for a long time. Let's go
Yeah.
SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
I'll watch Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns if
Hell
they go
yeah.
that route.
I want that match. Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, go on.
Braun Strowman.
Uh,
I don't know if I care that much anymore.
Me neither.
yeah.
Like he's been teaming with Ricochet, whatever. It was born out of a tweet.
I'll just say Raw. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I'll
got
say
nothing.
Raw.
Yeah, maybe just keep him with Ricochet. It gives them something to do, because they won't do anything
Fair.
with Ricochet.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar, Raw.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
say
know why
SmackDown.
Brock. I mean, unless Fox has some pull, but I feel like keep him and Roman away from each other.
That's fair.
That's
Yeah,
also
Raw.
fair, but I don't know, man. I think he's too big of a draw for Fox to not.
That's the
want.
thing. That's a tough one. I'm gonna say Raw, but I'm not confident.
Mhm.
Bronson Reed.
I kind of don't care.
Raw, don't care. I don't care.
I like Bronson Reed.
Don't care.
Him and
Dude, I'm telling you, I can't do this entire list if we're only at big.
Okay.
You got to
ready
do
to-
notable
Charlotte
names.
Flair. Charlotte Flair.
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
Sure, why not? Cody Rhodes.
SmackDown.
I'm saying Raw. I'm saying Raw.
I'm
I
saying
think
Raw.
him and Roman.
No. I'm
probably,
saying SmackDown. I'm saying SmackDown.
Him and Roman will get there eventually. I'm saying Raw.
The only way I want it to be Raw is if they actually decide.
I don't think he'll win that title.
Which one?
The new world title. I don't think
So
he'll be in contention, but he won't win.
I could see him going to Raw while Roman's on SmackDown.
Yes.
And either A, winning the briefcase
Mhm.
and declaring ahead of time,
Mm-hmm.
like saying, I'm cashing this in at SummerSlam.
Yes.
Be ready, motherfucker.
Agreed.
Or B, he goes back-to-back Royal Rumbles.
Right. I agree.
I
But
could
Raw.
see that being how they get to Cody finally winning the title, by being on separate brands. It's seeming like a thing and not going to happen.
That's-
One of those happens.
That's what I was getting at for sure.
Damian Priest. I mean, that really depends on what they're doing with Judgment Day.
I hope they don't break up Judgment Day, and
neither.
I say keep
Yeah.
him on Raw.
Keep him on Raw. The problem is Rhea's the fucking SmackDown.
Oh, yeah.
champ. So
Well,
unless they
then-
switch the titles,
All right. So then, based on that logic of not switching titles, I changed my mind to SmackDown because I want them all together.
okay. Well, next one was going to be Dominic Mysterio, so that answers that question.
Judgment Day. Yep.
Drew McIntyre. I'm going to say Raw. Yes, Raw.
Dynamite. JK.
No, I'm not ruling it out. I'm also not ruling out Bushi Road.
Mm.
Or no, I'm sorry, G1. If Drew
So there's
leaves,
Drew Galloway.
if Drew leaves, even if it's just for a little while, I think he goes to Japan, does a run in Japan quick. Like even if it's just
No,
G1.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I kind of think he wants to, because I remember when there was a rumor a while back that it was going to be like WWE and New Japan might do something together. Like he was heavily hinting at he wanted a match with Okada. So yeah. Otherwise, Raw.
Agreed.
Have him on the same show. Have him be the one that takes the IC title off Gunther, so Gunther could go after the new world title.
I can fuck with that.
You'll get a kick-ass match out of it,
This is true.
because those dudes, that's just some fucking meat right there.
Yep.
Okay. I'm just gonna mention Edge because why? He's retiring soon.
He'll get but he's got to end up somewhere if he's still going.
I don't think he should have gone over Finn Balor at Mania. Speaking of which, Finn Balor, we
Put
already
Edge on
went through that.
SmackDown just because of the historical
Yeah.
aspect behind
Finn
it. I feel
Balor
like he was
Raw.
more of a SmackDown guy.
Yeah, that's true. Usos, they're gonna go with
SmackDown.
Roman.
I'll cut you off and say I'll just say entire bloodline SmackDown. So I guess
Yeah.
Solo's go out.
Okay, so I already mentioned the Good Brothers.
Yeah.
I hope they
Yeah,
just go wherever AJ goes.
Yeah.
Johnny Gargano,
Yeah, Raw.
Yeah, Raw.
SmackDown. I can
I
see
can
it.
see either.
And also very
can see
quickly,
either.
just touch on it because he came back as a big deal and has fallen off quickly. Does the same thing could happen with Karrion Kross?
Karrion Kross is that
I honestly feel kind of bad a little bit, but part of it's probably his own fault.
he might just not be as good as everyone thinks.
I think he's just not a WWE guy.
That's true too.
So anyway, I'm gonna say he goes to SmackDown.
Yeah, probably.
Kofi Kingston. What do you think happens with New
So,
Day?
I mean, I feel like there's been inklings of like Xavier Woods turning heel. So I'm curious if Big E comes back, I don't know, because he's been the same character for a lot of years, and maybe they think they got something, and maybe I don't know, maybe something different after a decade of the New Day.
Counter argument.
If you want to do, if Big E's going to come back and you want to turn him, that would be the moment to do it.
Counter argument.
Go ahead.
They're letting them Twitch again. And he's basically the face of that.
Yeah, but he's basically established himself as an entirely separate,
like Austin Creed is a separate.
Yes, like he like
that's fair.
Like what you see on TV does not matter on up, down, down. Like I think he's established that difference.
I could that's a fair argument. Also, up, down, down, very good stuff.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, no, that man does great work outside the ring.
He set himself up for when he's done wrestling. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, LA Knight.
I want him early, and I'll say
Raw.
I'll say Raw, because I think anybody new that you want to try and push and make a contender for that title, I think has to go to Raw if that's what's going to happen. And so if you want to give someone like LA Knight that push, it's got to be Raw.
That's my thought process too. Liv Morgan and
I don't care.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I like Liv Morgan. I don't care about.
It's not even not care of like I don't. It's like I don't care of like I think wherever they end up, they can figure it out.
Yeah. MVP is listed by himself on this list.
Yeah, I don't. Him and Omos doing whatever the fuck Raw. I don't care.
Put fucking her business back together in some way. Just fucking do it. It was a good idea. You ended.
They sort of are. They had MVP and Cedric Alexander with Shelton Benjamin for some match I watched that was on that main event show on Hulu or whatever.
All right, well, hopefully
only because he wrestled like William Regal's kid. So I checked it out.
Okay.
Something Dempsey, I can't remember.
Matt Riddle.
Anyway. Ooh.
SmackDown.
Yeah,
I kind of want to say SmackDown only because
there's a lot of feuds he can do.
I'm curious as to what happens with him now that, somewhere in his ownership tree is once again Dana White.
Probably nothing.
I know, but it's still
separate entities.
To think about.
Dana's gonna have nothing to do with the WWE.
I know, but it's still funny to think about. All right, I'm skipping a whole bunch of names here because
please do, because I'm ready to tap out. I'm going to tap out soon. I'm telling you, hurry up,
dude. It is 12:05 here.
It's not about the time.
It's your bladder. I get it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do they bang up? Do they break up the whatever Sheamus's group is.
Oh, is that still? Yeah, they can do that. I think that's like an unofficial group. Yeah, they can break it up.
Okay. Sheamus, I'm gonna say Sheamus SmackDown, Rich Holland Raw, and apparently Butch is supposed to go back to Pete Dunne by the end of the year. And I'm gonna put him on Raw as well.
Yeah, that's fine. The other, like Rich Holland, it's whatever for me. He was good in the group, but did awesome in that WrestleMania vignette with when they did the 40-year-old virgin waxing skit. But anyway,
we said Seth Rollins Raw.
Yes.
Shinsuke Nakamura SmackDown.
Raw, put him in contention for that new title at some point.
I think they're trying to push him to be Roman's opponent in Saudi.
Well, fuck. SmackDown it is then.
That's what I've heard. Solo Sikoa's no, he's going with
Raw. Jesus Christ, yes,
Miz.
Bloodline. It doesn't matter for him. They'll figure it out. I think he's fine no matter what.
I'm gonna say SmackDown, but I agree, he's fine either way.
He's more of a SmackDown.
They should make full circle. He's just the host of SmackDown again.
Yes, that'd be hilarious. I'll end it on Xavier Woods.
See now, I can see. I feel like I could see Biggie and Kofi on one and Xavier on the other to start.
Okay. That would be.
It's funny. It's funny because
last time it was Kofi and Xavier on one and Biggie on the other.
Right, and it's funny because I said like, oh, what if the tag teams don't break up, and here I am splitting up the New Day. So my logic makes no sense clearly, but it's also wrestling, so none of it has to.
Yeah, I'm gonna end the list.
That's the beauty of it. Oh yeah, no, I'm very thank you for that, but also thank you for not saying every name.
Yes,
I could have, but CJ's bladder couldn't handle it.
No,
big facts.
Also, we've been
plus it's after midnight here, and
we've been going for now. We did our usual 90 minutes, give or take. Started like 10:30.
Yeah.
This was fun.
We mostly had a topic.
We reminisced about the old drafts.
Yeah.
There's a real. See how quick I get cut off. Yeah, buddy.
That's like
no.
Get out of us, LA Knight.
My mom's sleeping. Oh, yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Beep, 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 beep. He came into my driveway at fucking like 1 a.m, blaring the horn, yelling, "Yeah, buddy," out the window. Like, my whole family's sleeping. Yeah, buddy.
It's fucking funny. Whatever.
Oh no, it was great. I still think it's funny.
That's the first episode in a while where it wasn't just rambling. I mean, it was rambling.
It was rambling
within a topic.
This is fair. This is true. So you should probably follow us on all our socials. You can follow us on Instagram at 6Man Tag Podcast, on Twitter at 6Man Tag, on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, 6Man Tag Podcast all around. Now, do yourself a favor, hit the follow button. Yes.
I just have a question. Now, when you say 6Man Tag, do you spell that out with the letters SIX?
Which do you do here?
How do you do it, man?
Yeah.
You pieces of human garbage. Spell out the word 6. Oh, I'd be so fucking mad. It's the number 6, bitch.
That's right.
Fucking idiots. The number 6 for 6Man Tag Podcast, and fuck you.
Yeah.
It's so unnecessarily aggressive, and I love it.
Every time.
Dude, every time you have to. Shit, when I was on your show that you're about to plug, somebody had to do it there too.
I just said it on
I feel like
show.
we're not going to change the format so much, but I do feel like when we record, I think next week we're going to do a deep dive into AJ Styles. That was seemingly
surprise.
Seemingly the poll
we
put out. We put out a poll on Discord, and that so far that's the winning vote. So I'm just saying we're going to talk about a bunch of AJ Styles next week. We'll deep dive into those early TNA days, different variations of AJ Styles, his evolution in TNA, and then to Japan and Ring of Honor, and then into probably one of the best debuts in WWE history. We'll kind of discuss it all.
For you few people that are listening, I'm giving you a homework assignment right now, which you could do because both matches are on YouTube. Go and watch the AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels versus Samoa Joe matches.
from like
I sat down.
2005.
There's two of them because they did a rematch because of how great the first one was.
One's an Ultimate X.
One. I don't know if it's an Ultimate X.
I got another piece of homework for you all from my favorite era of AJ Styles. Do yourself a favor and go find AJ Styles versus Shinsei Nakamura.
Oh yeah,
at Wrestle Kingdom
in Japan.
Yes,
that's good shit.
That's
good why,
shit, pal.
Yeah,
that is.
That's why people that thought
that's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's my favorite AJ, by the way. Bullet Club AJ all the way.
Yep.
But
we'll talk about it, man, because he's had such a big run. We'll that's covered 20
Ring of Honor
2+ decades at this point. So we'll talk about it all next week. We'll kind of we'll do our usual rambling, but about AJ Styles. Yes. And then definitely subscribe to the YouTube because there's some stuff I do. I know a lot of this podcast lately has been a lot more current stuff. Not that I dislike talking about that, but I do think YouTube is maybe some shorter videos on YouTube is the way to go for a lot of that stuff. So be sure to subscribe to YouTube because we're going to have a little bit more exclusive content for YouTube. But now when I say exclusive content, I just mean videos, not sexy time videos like people love to do and call it exclusive content. Please pay us. Please give us money if you'd like to send us some, though. Oh, no, put your shirt down, sir.
So what are we doing with all those titty pics I took today?
Oh, no, we'll put them out. Not for free. Maybe hold on. Maybe we give one away. Maybe we give one away for free.
CJ,
that's how you get them. First one's always free.
Yeah.
CJ, titties find a way.
Titties do find a way.
Yes.
If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
That's a fact.
That is a
different subscribe to us on all those platforms. 6-Man Tag Podcast number 6. And do that. And then there's other shit that you can check out that Craig's gonna plug now.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna make it real nice and simple for you, okay? I'm not gonna go off on this whole mumbled tangent about all these fucking links that you
I can't hear you.
I said I'm not gonna go off on a mumbled tangent about all these links you can follow. I'm gonna make it real simple for you. All you have to do is type in Linktree/The Paperweight Project. That is linktr.ee/The Paperweight Project. And you're going to get links to everywhere you can follow what I'm up to. Let me tell you what those things are. First of all, there is the Paperweight Project itself. That is where I release my music that I write and also some covers that I've been working on. My writing partner, John Hooten, and we do a lot of stuff together that comes out on that channel, including a cover of the Cody Rhodes theme song, Kingdom, with a special guest from this very show, Mr. Skyler, no last name. He's on that track as well. We do a cover of Kingdom.
I need to have a talk with Endeavor.
Yep. It was a lot of fun. Doing that cover, and we're pretty happy with it, and you should check it out. But also on top of that, I also have a couple other songs, Bottles by the Bedside and The Chase. They're on YouTube, they're on SoundCloud. Just go to the link tree, you get links to both of those, as well as the Paperweight Broadcast, which is the new podcast that I'm doing myself with my partner John Hooten that I mentioned before, the guy who does the music with me. Me and him have been doing a weekly podcast where we can kind of just shoot the shit. We have different members of our friends group on and kind of catch up, and it's it's just a lot of fun. Today we just recorded an episode where we had a game night, talked a little bit about having game nights back in the day when we all used to get together, and then we played a little card game that was pretty fun. If you want to check it out, follow the Paperweight Broadcast, and you can do that once again just by going to Linktree/The Paperweight Project. It's got links to all of it. Please follow, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. Let me know which one of you guys from this show jumped over. Hey, I know you from 6-Man Tag. I'd appreciate it, man. I'm trying to start something new. I'm trying to be entertaining, so I need some feedback. So, but beyond that, Skyler.
So as I mentioned last week, I'm trying to rethink the whole Twitch thing. Not that I don't want to do it, just how I'm going to do it. I need to figure out how to get the camera work, how to actually make it entertaining instead of me just hitting the share button on the controller and going. So I'm still trying to figure that out. Part of me is thinking possibly just getting a monitor set up in my room. I don't know yet. I will say that I am at the point where I'm going after Robert in Last of Us. And also 15 minutes ago, Jedi Survivor came out. So that is very well. Okay, I have a pre-order I have to go pick up. So yes, it's on the docket. And as a big fan of Jedi Fallen Order, I'm very excited about this, despite the fact that's 150 gigabytes in size.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah,
how big it is, but yeah, definitely love the
that
Fallen
and
Order,
that, and I'm still fulfilling my weebness by playing Persona 4 Golden. So basically, it's a mix of Last of Us, Persona 4, and soon to be Jedi
Star
Survivor.
Wars.
If the PlayStation 6 could please come out with an actual, hard drive that's actually worth the shit, as opposed to we'll toss you 1 terabyte that's going to get you like 10 games maybe.
They're not that expensive to get an external.
Well, no, you have to buy
the one you need, the internal one that I think you need for the PS5 to run properly. Those are pretty pricey.
You could get a terabyte for $125 now.
But that's what I'm saying.
2 years ago, those were $400.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
no,
it's
I know
crazy.
because I paid too much for mine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I got a 4 terabyte one for I think like 120.
No, that's an external. You need to get the stick.
No, that's what I'm
goes in.
talking about. The external
stick?
hard drive. No, the external.
No, for the PS5, you need to get an M2, like the stick.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's the
back in the day, you could just get any external. I used to do that, but now
no, all my
like...
now all I have an external, but that's where all my PS4 games go.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is the way to go.
No,
anyway,
I agree.
Anyway, that's for the nerd podcast that I'm going to launch.
Okay, yeah, do it.
Actually, that may be a thing.
Cool.
We'll talk about that later.
We got a whole network growing, bro.
That's why I'm thinking about it, but we'll talk later.
Yeah,
we'll do it. We'll get our shit going. Listen, this was fun. Again, join us next week. All about AJ Styles. More deep dive wrestlers coming in the future because we'll have a fun few weeks on that. But yeah, like I said, follow all our shit that we just mentioned, and it's time to sprinkle some crack on this episode. That was fun. Thanks for listening to us for the last 90 plus minutes of just ramblings of madmen, as per
Again,
usual.
though, at least we have a topic.
This is true.
The maddest of men.
This is true. Unlike last week's true rambling of holy fuck, all this shit's happening while we're not recording.
When you have Anthony Lascazzo for one night only.
That's true. You throw everything at him, and then he doesn't.
Mr. One Night Only.
And then he doesn't return your calls or texts.
That's his new nickname,
Mr. One Night Only.
Next time I'm playing NHL with him, I'll be like, "Oh shit, it's Mr. One Night Only himself."
So probably within the next hour.
Well, no, it's too late over there now.
This is true.
Anyway,
all right, this was good shit this week.
Yeah, buddy.
And, hey, keep watching us. Until next time, for Skylar, for CJ, I'm Mike. Hey, peace out, everybody. See ya.
Shocker.
I love it.
There we go.